G'day everyone, Professor Maple here. We're back on Sprucecraft. I hope everyone's having a great day. I am so far. And what are we up to today? What are we going to do? Well, first and foremost, you might notice a bit of a change here. We've kind of closed up this. That was going to be an entrance to the mass storage area, and then this was going to be the entrance to the mass smelting area. And I keep 1 second here. I totally... What's water under? Done? Done? That's not... Okay, that's not under it. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out later. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what's going on here? So essentially we're cleaning it up, we're making it a bit more streamlined. Instead of having a separate room for the mass storage system and then another for the smelter, I figured, well, we'll have our access to the redstone for the storage system here. And by the way, we've got like, anytime I look around here, it's like 30 or 40 FPS, but as soon as I look away from all the chests and the redstone, it goes back up to 60, so yeah, we definitely need to spread this out a bit more, which is what we're kind of doing. So yeah, basically we've got our access to the redstone still, and also these chests that are full of lava that I have to move once we get the next section done. Holy bother, I just can't speak today. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, I've been looking up smelters, and I've decided I'm going to put a, I found a design for a smelter that I like. So we're going to put that in here kind of lengthways, kind of parallel to the storage sorter dealy bobber. But of course, I've been trying to get into, like, if I take something, I want to add something a little more than just decoration to it. So I'll show you what we do with that later. But just I'm not just lifting it out and putting it down. Although I will admit that my changes to that smelter are rather limited, just because I'm not entirely very technical, but I'm practicing it up. That's the point of, well, part of the point of me changing the designs I borrow. So I'll be adding something to it, kind of like what I did with the birch farm there. Took the design, added some stuff to it, and then this here will be our palette for this room. It'll also serve as a mass storage room. So we'll have chests and chests and chests. We'll have one hallway for, say, sandstone, another hallway for even more cobblestone, that sort of thing. Everything will have its own hallway, and we'll dig it out. Each hallway will probably be a different length depending on how many chests worth of that thing we need to store, and that way I can infinitely expand it. And we're plenty above the mining level, so that shouldn't be a problem. I fell in the hole there. But yeah, so we've got sort of our andesite, which is a nice light gray, and then the cyan clay, which is dark. So it's not really that big of a change in color, but it's got enough contrast to it. And then oak wood is just the only wood I haven't really used for any of my other projects too much. Like, you know, the color coding I have for the mining's got the yellow clay and the dark oak, and farms, as you can see here, it's jungle wood and red clay, and me almost breaking glass there. And well, you know, the birch and blue clay for the library area, which I have to finish eventually. And then of course we've got green clay and spruce for the living quarters. But considering this section really wasn't part of my original plan a year ago when I designed everything, well, everything. When I sort of designed the main concept of the base, you know, it's so I kind of have to add some stuff in, and oak was the wood I didn't really use, because acacia is also part of the farm system. So yeah, oak's what's left, and we're gonna go with this. And we're just gonna see what happens. All right, guys, so we're back, and I have finished building this. And again, like, this is one of those things where I build it off camera I don't really give the tutorial because there's a much better tutorial on the channel of the YouTuber Lamdrew, Lamdrew, not Lamdrew as in Mary had a little Lamdrew, but yeah, he's a good guy. This apparently was his first tutorial, so and it was actually really well done. So kudos to him for putting that together, and check him out. I also saw other videos where it's pretty much the same system here, but what he added, if we can see it, I have some redstone in the way, or future redstone spots to it. So he added in this this item elevator to put all the stuff he smelted in that bottom chest there, which I think is really cool. Nice addition to the build. I'm getting frame issues because of that area, so just a heads up. And also, speaking of frame issues, and speaking of customizations, we're gonna add in some of my customizations now, if I can get up here. There we go. So we're just gonna put some furnaces on top of the hoppers, because I know if you put blocks on top of hoppers, they'll stop looking for things, but I'm not entirely sure if it's all blocks, all like solid blocks, or if it's only blocks with inventories. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna prevent these hoppers from having to look for items, because they have, like, if they're not covered, they have that sort of available open hole for things to go into, which they actively have to search for. So we're just preventing them having to do that and sucking up that dirt, for example. And yeah, we're keeping that from causing an issue, because we're already having, I'm not sure if this is going to come out on the video here, but we're already having some frame issues. And then another thing, I'm just going to light this up before I forget, because I know I will if I don't do it now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add sort of an optional experience mode here. So what that means is, like, every time you take something out of a furnace, out of this section of the furnace here, you take your smooth stone out and you get experience for having smelted it. Because all the items are getting sucked right out of the furnaces by the hoppers, you're not really going to get any experience for them when you take them out of this chest. So, not that it's like super pressing matter, but just for the sake of adding something else to it, and we're gonna make it so that we can lock these hoppers. So when the hoppers are locked, the experience mode will be on, and we'll be able to manually remove all the things we've smelted out of the furnaces and get that experience, because the hoppers will be locked. And when it's off, everything will flow through and we won't get experience, but we won't have to go back there to grab everything. So that's those are my two additions to the design here. Nothing super crazy, but you know, sometimes you don't need super crazy, especially when you've got, what are we down to? We're down at 24 frames a second here, so let's try and keep looking that way so the game doesn't have to render so much. Although, yeah, I think even looking this way now, yeah, it's about 40 frames, so I might just be killing the server. Who knows? But let's see. I've already started some of the design here just to make everything flow better. I've got some polished andesite here, and I decided the smooth stone half slabs work really well for that. They let me open that trap chest at the top there, and then I also have some sort of inlaid behind there just to kind of make it so you don't see as much of the redstone, because as much as I like seeing redstone, I'm sort of tidying this up to hide it a bit more. So in fact, I might even do, where'd they go? Where are they? Oh, I used them all up, right. So we're just going to craft a few more here, a few bajillion more, instead of going all the way back up to the item room there. Just gonna craft a couple. That's the bottom of the block, so we'll put one there to prevent spawns. And that's one section we can't see anymore. And we'll just kind of try and make it so we have... Okay, that's one section we can't see anymore. Prevent spawns. And we're gonna probably end up being able to see that redstone no matter what, but we'll try and hide it as much as we can. Yeah, that's actually pretty good there. And then we can't put anything there because that torch is there. Yeah, I think we've done a good job of hiding it. All right, so I think what we're gonna have to do now is I actually now that I think of it, this is gonna be kind of narrow walking through here. So we'll open it up, the room a bit, once we get past the smelter. But for now, I think I'm gonna just move on to decorating off camera, and we'll see how things go with this combination now that we have smooth stone half slabs on the list of materials we can use here. I'm also gonna try and find a better spot for this because I know I'll probably want it for right here somewhere, but I'm not sure exactly where. Anyway. Back in a moment here. Alright guys, so we've made some headway here. I got a bit carried away, I will admit. We've got some of the storage hallways sort of started. And of course, I'm not going to finish the back walls on any of these because they're going to be infinitely expandable. As long as I don't hit someone else's base or something, which I kind of doubt, but yeah, it's possible I might get to a point where it juts out of the side of a mountain or something. That's when I might start a new one. If for some reason it gets that long. I doubt it'll go that far. Anyway, so yeah, so we've got 2 rows for cobble on here. I'm gonna try and double side a bunch of these as much as I can. There's a skeleton nearby. Also the ceiling I'm gonna pretty up dirt in the like archways here. Just a little bit, but for the most part they're not gonna change much either. Just because it's a lot of resources for something infinitely expandable again, and I don't necessarily know how much I'm gonna need. Also, I'm not sure how much I'm really gonna pay attention to them. He's like really close. Holy bother. Okay, anyway, so I've still got I wanna, because this is a hallway and it's gonna have, well, it's kind of narrow. I'm not a big fan of the narrow. Like, it does make it easier to decorate in that I have less surface area to cover to put things in and stuff, but it's not really, I don't like it too much. So what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna switch things around just for the sake of inventory cleanliness here, is we're gonna take this room. I've sort of did that wall a little bit because the next hallway is gonna start about here. I'm gonna do the same on that side of the room. I'm just going to do a, wait for it, a mining time lapse or montage or a speedy thingamadiddle with the go fast camera zippity whatever. You know, I'm gonna do something special right now. We're into the 51st episode. We have to start upping the game. And I swear that skeleton. One sec. Must be another cave like right there or something. Anyway, yes. So if we find that skeleton while we do this time lapse thing, then where's it above me? Either way, regardless, we're gonna go speed now. Bam. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. Talk more about that in a second here. We've got the second half of this room done. I know it needs to be about that wide for what I want. I'm not sure how far that way, but I'll do that off camera. In the meantime, if you enjoyed that that time lapse, I was able to do that. I need to remember. No, just all the way up. Okay. Yeah, so that time lapse I was able to do because of the replay mod, new mod for 1.8 that lets you essentially record client side. What's the best way to describe it? What happens while you go into a server or a single player world or whatever, and essentially you can do time lapses with it. You can do speedy uppy. No, that is the time lapse. You can do slow-mo. You can sort of freeze time around, like say if I'm jumping in the air here, you can freeze time around me jumping in the air. I'll like Matrix style and sort of do like a 360 around that. Oh no, I should have left my axe out. We'll do that. Feels so weird having my axe in slot 1. I don't think I'm getting that stair back. Oh, maybe I am? Maybe I am. Okay, wonderful. Anyway, so yeah, replay mod. I've been watching Exumavoid's videos lately because I love watching his videos. And he sort of seemed to have early access to it the last few weeks. And I'm glad that I've been able to try it out now. Like when I first found out it came out through the some of the members of the Hermitcraft community there, I like jumped and was like, oh, I've got a busy day today, but I'm going to download this now. And you know, it's going to take me a little while to get used to it, and it takes me a while. That time lapse you've just seen. I tried to do it all in like one take in the mod, but when I went to render it in the mod through the mod, it would crash the computer there. So I had to do it in like three separate clips essentially, and stick them in my editing software afterwards. But I like that you get like a raw video file out of it, which is really nice. Let's see, what else? So yeah, for those of you who remember when I said I wasn't going to, especially since it's my hobby and I'm not paying money to do it, other than electricity and internet and all that stuff. So yeah, I didn't have to buy a second account for like a camera account kind of thing. Didn't have to do like even though I have 2 monitors, I didn't really have to like have 2 accounts open on the same computer at once, which, you know, the replay mod is hard enough on my computer as it is, it seems. So I'm alright with this, and it's free. So huge props to the guys who made those. I'll link the replay mod website in the description as well as Lamdrew's Smeltamajig over there. And I think I'm just doing that thing where sometimes people pace around in their videos and just talk, but I think I'm alright with that for now. I might do like some floor thing around the outside edge, but I don't know what. And let's see if we have chests there. Chests could go along here, like right in here without issue, yeah? And of course I don't have my shovel on 4 as I usually do. Let's put some light down. So yeah, we can put chests there. So that's good. Let's do that now, just so we have a bit of a marker. There. And I'll do a bit more to this room, probably between episodes or something, and then we might come back to it, we might move on. I've got so because technically like this is still the vault, but I want to try and get this main room done. And there are a couple projects that I still need, like larger projects I need to get out of the way in order to be able to finish this room. So yeah, that'll happen eventually as well. Yeah, I'm excited to play around a bit more with the replay mod. I might not have it won't be every episode that I use it, but I'm excited to maybe show something a bit more interesting than I did this time as well. Although I good practice is always appreciated for that kind of thing. Anyway, so yes, I'm probably gonna end the episode here because I've been really rambly this episode. I didn't really notice till just now, but I have. And so yeah, we'll finish her up quite soon. And yeah, don't forget to eat your vegetables. Go ahead and try out that replay mod. It's super fun. Once you get the hang of it, getting the hang of it's a little tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, I'm sure it'll be like smooth as silk there. Smooth as silk touch. Anyway, yeah. Have a good whatever time of day it is. Have a good now. And I will see you next episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.